First, as always, appreciate you guys being on. I know it's late. Great game today. Tip of the hat, I knew how good Minnesota was. They've been ranked for a long time. They probably have an elite, one of the best guards in the league, and a big guy that blocks shots, and, a group around them that are very good. So I knew today would be a real difficult basketball game, but Coach Pitino does a really good job with his guys, and I knew they'd challenge us in every way. But, proud of our guys, old-fashioned, like grinder. We grinded it out at the end. I think we went on a 10-2 run to finish out the game. Some of our defensive stops were just, terrific. And, it's another game where we out-rebounded our opponent, which is, been a struggle for us at times. And, we got to the free throw line more than they did. That's been a struggle too. So, just proud, grinded it out, and get our fourth straight win in this league is not easy, but can enjoy it for a few minutes, and then we're playing Iowa, one of the best teams in the country, coming up on the road. So enjoy it for a day.
Thanks, Coach. We'll start off with questions from Jerry and then Bobby.
Steve, the Minnesota's last two possessions in particular, I think everybody knew, the ball was going to be in Marcus Carr's hands. How did you guys just keep him out of the lane, and specifically, how did Caleb McConnell do against him?
Well, I will tell you, you got to play team defense against, Marcus Carr. So everyone was attached. I mean, Jacob did a great job in the first half. Montez, Caleb, and then our bigs had to do a great job too. So it was really team defense. We switched a lot. Ron had to sit down too and guard him at times, and and how about the plays that all those guys made defensively down the stretch? Big rebounds, by Ron. Geo makes big plays. Caleb hits the three. Paul does all the things that don't show up in the box score. And then, Miles Johnson, our bench gives us a good lift. Cliff was good. Montez gives us a good lift. Jacob does what he does. So, pleased with everybody. But down the stretch, Marcus Carr's a really good player, and you have to do a really good job on him. And, I know he got 18 points. I know he had 7 assists, but, I thought he had to really work for those. And, team defense, that's how you corral a guy like him.
Steve, it was one of those finishes, vintage Geo down there, taking the ball and hitting shots. Can you just talk about how big he was down the stretch?
Yeah, I mean, he was, confident too. He made big free throws, and he got the big rebound too to kind of ice it there at the end. But, he had a little foul trouble he had to play through today, some obstacles. But, he made some big plays, and thankful, for that down the stretch especially. And made some tough ones too, and got a few looks for other people. So real pleased. Geo does a great job, and I couldn't take him out of the game other than the foul trouble today because he was locked in.
Take the next questions from Brian Fonseca and then Richie after him.
Steve, you mentioned this was an old school grinder. Game was really back and forth, nail biter, 22 lead changes. What does the team show you in being able to win a game like this and go down the wire and close out so strong?
I mean, just really, proud of the way we're defending now, and we're rebounding too. We didn't get caught up. We made free throws in the second half, to kind of wrap things up too. So, good teams do those things. You got to get big stops, and we did when we had to. And we got fouled. We made the free throws, and we executed, down the stretch too with the possessions that we needed to execute on. So, overall, just really happy. Went through a lot during the course of the game. Hard-fought game. I mean, our guys really, deserve a couple days off here. Try to get recharged, and then head to, one of the toughest places in the league to play in Iowa.
Steve, you mentioned rebounding. I think mid-season it was, you guys got out-rebounded 5 games in a row, and now you've out-rebounded teams 5 games in a row. What would you say the biggest difference is between those two spans?
Well, I mean, we're doing a much better job of putting bodies on bodies, and, we've made a huge emphasis of it. Our guys have taken on the challenge. I think really, Miles does a great job. Cliff, does a great job too. Even, he got 1 rebound tonight, but he boxes out. He's a big body, helps us a great deal. But I think everyone's real conscious of it, and and I know down the stretch too, everyone wanted a piece of a rebound down the stretch, and Ron went up and got that one. That was a huge rebound to secure at the end.
go to Aaron and then to Jerry.
Hey, Coach. You had a 19-6 edge and fast break points. How important was the transition game tonight, and how much did you expect that coming in?
I mean, it's always important, and a big part of that is every time I watch the tape, it's our defense. When we get stops, we can run. When we're not fouling people, we can run. So I thought we did a good job advancing the ball and getting up ahead. And I also thought they did the same thing to us a few times too. So our transition defense wasn't exactly where we needed to be, but we like to run, and it's all predicated on the kind of stops that we're getting too really helps us. But we got a lot of guys that can advance the ball, and we got a lot of guys that can finish down the other end, and we certainly needed those points tonight.
Steve, what explanation did you get for the technical at the end of the half?
Yeah, I mean, just there were some, I guess some words exchanged. So, I'll have to watch the tape. I don't quite know what was said, but heat of the battle.
Okay, thanks.
We'll go next to Bruce Beck.
Steve, you told us when you guys were on a losing streak that it was your fault. So now that the team is on a winning streak, who gets the credit?
Oh, 100%. The team figured it out. They decided that they wanted to be a really good defensive basketball team. They wanted to get back to doing the things that, made us, successful. But this league is just so good. I don't know if anyone quite realizes the challenges that are in this league. And you could be a real good team and be on a streak one way or the other. But our team, and a tip of the hat, to all of them. They came. We've had, better practices. They've done a better job, stopping the other team's best player. They've done a really good job of boxing out. So credit to, all of them, for stepping it up and doing just a terrific job. So it's their season. It really is, and they can make what they want out of it. And we're excited about playing well, but we also know this league is obstacles.
Got time for two more for Coach. We'll go to Chris Eisman and then let Aaron finish out.
Steve, you mentioned obviously, being able to enjoy this for a few minutes and then how tough this league is. I mean, how important is it for guys just to kind of have short memories and just kind of not get hung up in any one game, whether it's a win or a loss in a league like this?
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. You got to have short memory. I like the way we hit adversity and our guys just kept grinding, and it's a league where you got to keep grinding. I mean, you see the scores every night. Anybody could beat anybody on any given. There are really good programs with great coaches, the tough venues to play at. And, it's a possession here and a possession there. It's a free throw. It's a turnover. It's a, that kind of league. So you better be able to, plow through it and get ready for the next game really quickly. So we try to keep our guys, don't get too high, don't get too low. Just, understand the obstacles are numerous.
Coach, Caleb and Paul both played, I believe, the last 12 minutes of the game. They filled the stat sheet, but how important was their steadiness, throughout the game, but down the stretch for the team to be able to pull it out?
Yeah, I mean, those guys do a lot of things that, don't show up in the box score, and they got great length, terrific box-out players, they're cutters. They share the game. I mean, Caleb obviously is feeling better too. He was really good tonight, but he's come off that injury, and it takes a little time to get in your rhythm. But they really defended, down the stretch, and I like those two guys. And when you watch the film, you even see more of the things that they do that they don't get credit for. So they made some winning plays tonight, and so did everyone. Just so did everyone. I mean, Geo stepped up, and you can't talk enough about Miles and how well he's played, and Paul and Caleb and Ron, and Cliff gave us great minutes, and Montez and Porton and Jacob. I mean, Jacob did some things in the first half that are hard to, he's fast, he's quick, and he wore, I think he wore Marcus Carr down too. So everyone important to us winning. And, got contributions from everybody.
Bruce, did you have one last quick one? Or?
Coach, down the stretch there, it just seemed like it was so difficult to get over the hump to try to take that lead back. How proud are you of the group that they just kind of showed their tenacity, hung in there, and then Geo hit that step back jumper, and that was the first highlight, by the way, we put on the news, because that was, to us, the big play that kind of gave you the lead for good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we just kept grinding, and then, you know, when they hit that three, you know, by Robbins, who's made a couple threes, but that was a huge one. You know, we just kept kind of fighting through it, and was real proud. They never flinched. In every timeout and every huddle, they were together, and we got this. So, you know, tip of the hat, and again, you know, Minnesota's a really good team. Tip of the hat to them. It was a great college basketball game too. You know, I would have really enjoyed it if I was sitting in the stands watching it. But you know, good win for us at home too, and you know, we got a little time now to heal our bodies and get ready for that next obstacle.
Thanks, Coach. We'll let you go on that.
Thanks, guys. Thanks so much for being on. Appreciate it.